Hey guys, so hopefully you've seen my video on how I get that nice DJ radio show style for my live stream broadcasts. If not, click the link up here or click the link below. If you already know how to route your audio and you've clicked on this video to see how I set up the visual side of my live stream, great. Once again, I respect that you may not have the same equipment as me, the same hardware or software, but like in the last video, please comment below if you want to share with me your setup and I can do my best to find out a way which works for you. For this live stream, I'll be using my Canon EOS M50 mirrorless camera, which I'm using right now. This will be routed into my computer as a webcam via a piece of software called Camera Live. Interestingly, there's another way to do this, however it's only available to PC users. I'll also be using OBS software, which is a free vision mixing software available for all Mac and PC users. So now you should be able to see my screen. First things first, I want to hook up my mirrorless camera to be used as an input source. To do that, we're going to download a piece of software called Camera Live. This will allow my camera to be used as a siphon client and therefore as a webcam. So if I open up my internet over here, this website is a link to all the different releases of Camera Live. I'll put a link in the description below. What you're going to do is essentially download, ideally the latest release, but if you're not too sure on a beta version, then by all means go back to maybe build 11. Once you download it, it'll be a zip file. Unzip it, and what will come up is this tiny little piece of software here called Camera Live. As you can see, nothing is picked up by Camera Live as of yet. I've connected my Canon mirrorless M50 camera via USB to my computer. The moment I switch it on, you should see it pick up in this little box here. There we go, Canon EOS M50. Now Camera Live is a great piece of software, but obviously not all cameras work with it. So before you download this, just double check to see if your camera is compatible. Now my Canon M50 is set up as a as a webcam via Siphon client. And if you watched the last video, you'll remember that our audio is already set up. So what you're listening to right now would be my live stream audio. I can play music. I've got my compressor. You should know all of that if you watched the last video. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to open up OBS software. If you don't have OBS, download it. It's absolutely free. Just type in obsproject.com. And here we go. Look, there's me. And I know what you're thinking. I've got more hair since the last scene. I'm wearing a different t-shirt as well. But I'll be honest, I recorded this part of the video a week later than the first part. So sorry about the lack of continuity there. Okay, so first of all, we want to make sure that our main audio source for OBS is the output we've just made for Ableton via the Soundflower 2 channel. I mean, on my version of OBS here, it's already set up, but I'll just show you how I do it. So first of all, we'll go into Preferences, OBS Preferences. We'll go over to our audio setting, and there's two ways to do this. So because Soundflower is essentially desktop audio, we can either set our desktop audio as a Soundflower 2 channel. Alternatively, we can use one of these mic or auxiliary inputs as our Soundflower 2 channel. If you're watching this video and you haven't set up your live stream through a DAW, or you're not using the Soundflower 2 channel, then on any of these mic or auxiliary inputs, you can use whichever your preferred device is. I'm using the Soundflower 2 channel. I'm going to put it on my desktop audio track. While we're here as well, let's just have a play about with some stuff to make sure everything is as we want it to be. In my case, I want 1920 by 1080p, as you can see here, with an aspect ratio of 16:9. You might want different, that's entirely up to you. I'm going to use 25 frames per second. Again, this is all down to your preference and whatever devices you have. My output, this is again largely dependent on the capability of your computer and the capability of your Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is pretty poor, and as you can probably hear on the mic, my computer is got its fans on. It's being sort of overwhelmed by the amount of stuff I'm trying to do with it. But if you have a powerful computer, then this is all good. And in actual fact, it works for me. Anyway, I'll explain a bit more about stuff you can do in preferences a bit later, but let me show you the main part. So as you can see, this is my face. I have two scenes. Here's another scene. This is my webcam on my laptop, and what these scenes are essentially similar to like camera angles, and through vision mixing you can mix between the two camera angles. So if I press my transition button here, as you can see, this is on the right, the main screen. So this is what will be going out to your stream, and the one on the left is what you're kind of looking at post putting it out. So you can do stuff like transition, you can straight cut, and you might have noticed there my logo in the corner has a little glitch effect. So I'll explain how that works. Not only are these camera angles, but if we scroll down here on my scene, I have my camera, which is the Siphon client. I have my logo, which as you can see is down here on this scene, and I have my overlays. If I transition this over, you might see my overlays in action. Maybe not, but I'll explain that in a bit more detail a bit later. So essentially you can set up your watermark, your logo. These examples I've made on Adobe After Effects a little bit prior to this, but let's set up a scene together. You can also set up your, mirror your screen and stuff like that. Let's set up a scene together so you know how it all works. I'm going to call this one a live stream tutorial. Cool, and now you see the sources in my stream are not yet there, and as we can see on our scene, let me just do this so you don't, okay, maybe not. So yeah, there's no sources there, and there's nothing on our window here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a source. First source we're going to add is our Siphon client, because we want the camera to be this camera here, the Canon M50 that we've just set up via Camera Live as our Siphon client. I'm going to click on Siphon client, and as you can see we've already got it existing, but let me just create a new one to show you how it works. The Canon. Cool. Create a new Canon, and our source is the Camera Live EOS M50. If you're using a green screen, things like that, you can allow transparency. We're not going to do that in this video, but that's entirely up to you. Click OK, and as you can see it's come up quite small in our window there, but you can drag, resize, do whatever you like to make it look good. And as you can see, these don't reflect each other. That's because this over here, my previously made one, is mirrored. So to mirror, you can control click or right click if you're using a PC, transform, and you just want to flip that horizontally, and then it's completely mirrored. There you go, you can see two screens, both with me in. Aren't you lucky? Now we want to add our logos, watermarks, etc. So again, we're going to add, if they are kind of moving video, I exported from Adobe After Effects to a mob video, so that's like a backgroundless video. You can add a VLC video source. Sorry, not a VLC video source, you can add a media source. Otherwise, if your logo is just a still image, like a PNG, then you can simply just add an image. So we're going to add a media source. And as you can see, we've got existing media sources, but like I said, I'm just going to show you how we would go about making one. So let's just call this one logo. Okay. And then we find our logo. I believe mine is in documents, select a YouTube channel. And here we go, this is the Eclecticist overlay. Open that. I want to loop it because essentially it's a 2-minute video, and every 2 minutes it does a little glitch and then disappears. Speed, we want it to be at 100%, we don't want it to go too fast or too slow. Color range, you can leave it auto. In this case it's just a white piece of text, or you can click on full. Either one of those will work for you. I'm actually going to cancel this one because like I said, we've already got it made. So rather than adding the logo, I'll remove logo, and let's just add the one that we've already got made. I just wanted to do that so you know how it works. Eclecticist logo. There you go, and as you can see it's already sized correctly. You can reposition it, you can put it in the bottom right, put it in the top left, the top right, etc. I'm just going to leave it exactly how it is. Secondly, we want to add my lower third, they call it. which also is a media source, and it's also one I made earlier. This is an art attack. There we go. So I've added my overlay. Again, this one is a 2-minute video that appears every 2 minutes, so it doesn't immediately appear. Now let's talk about hot cues, because one really cool thing, if I go back to my preferences and hot cues, by the way, both of these videos have no sound attached to them, so you will see level meters for those sources in the scene, but just ignore those because they have no audio with them. Yeah, so hotkeys, this is pretty cool. So for example, as you can see in the bottom left of the screen there, that's just appeared, you can show on my live stream tutorial scene, I can show selector overlays, which is the name of that thing there, and you can add a hotkey to it. So if I click on this little plus button here, oh, I don't need to click on the plus button, Shift and M, I'm just going to make, I can delete that one, I didn't need to do that, I can make that my hotkey. So every time I press Shift and M and that scene is on, it will restart the selector overlays, selector social overlays I should say. And oh, there we go, it's restarted here. In fact, ignore what I just said there. That's what I need to click on to restart it. Shift M, I already had it there, silly me. Also, what else can we do while we're here? Let's make a transition. So if we want to transition between scenes like I showed you earlier, let's make that Shift and T for transition. Cool. Or let's make it Command and T to be fun. Command and T. Hopefully that doesn't. Or Command Shift and T. That's what we'll do. Cool. So now if I open up another scene, let's go to our webcam scene. So now if I press Command Shift and T, it will transition. Just like that. Let's have a slow transition, like a fade. Yeah. And our live stream tutorial, so we've got it open here. Let's transition that one, Command Shift and T. And then if I press Shift and M, there you have it. Now, getting from OBS to live stream, this is the fun part. So luckily, if I go back to Chrome, I already have, this is my DJ Facebook page. So if you have a page, you can click on create a live video just like this. And it'll take you to this page. This is the same for personal pages as well as kind of channel pages. Yeah, pages, Facebook pages. And you want to use a stream key. So with the stream key, what you want to do is copy this one here. Again, everything else, title your video as you please. I'm going to call this one test. I'm going to call don't watch this video. Yeah, obviously you might not call it that, but I can even publish it as a test broadcast. Pardon, my internet is rather slow. There we go. And what you want to do is, like I said, copy the stream key, which is a long, strange number. Go back to OBS. And before we stream, we want to go into our OBS preferences again, and the stream setup. Here we go. So we're streaming to Facebook, so we want to change our service to Facebook. Again, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to stream to Twitter, to Twitch, to YouTube, you know, there's a whole host of different places you can. OnlyFans, you can stream to OnlyFans. Not that I have an OnlyFans page, but in this case, we're streaming to Facebook. Anything that isn't on this list, it will give you the option to add in a server yourself, just like that. I streamed to Mixcloud Live recently. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Facebook Live, and we have this stream key. I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to Command V. Let's copy, that's paste the stream key I just copied from Facebook. Click OK. And it's a simple case of, you'll see right now, I'm going to start streaming. And with me starting streaming, I'm going to press play on my music, which should be nicely side-chained. You should still hear my voice nicely. One thing I didn't show you is I've added a 20-second delay. So you might be able to see it's counting down here, and after 20 seconds, we should start streaming. And if it wasn't for my slow internet and my aging computer, we would be streaming smoothly and perfectly. So there you have it. That's how I stream. There's a few additional things I've done, such as I do notice that the video lags ever so slightly, so I've added a bit of a delay to make sure the audio in the video syncs up. If you want me to explain that to you, please leave a comment down below and I'll be able to explain that in greater detail for you. But yeah, so as you can see, through OBS, if you watched our last video, through Ableton Live, we are now streaming to the world, in this case via Facebook, but like I said, you can do this via YouTube, Twitch, OnlyFans, etc. I'm going to stop this stream now. And I'm going to delete this, so anyone who goes on my Facebook DJ page doesn't see a random video of me giving you guys a tutorial. I'm also going to stop the music. And cool, we're all good. Back to you in the studio. So hopefully now you have a nice understanding as to how I put together my DJ radio show live streams. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. And as always, like, subscribe, and share with all your DJ friends. Nice one.